Imagine the irony in that. Imagine the irony in this. Imagine you ask a man for help. You ask a man for a chance, an opportunity. And a man tells you no. Not because he can't help you or give you that opportunity. A man tells you no, not directly. But a man don't believe in you. A man can't see that you're something special. A man can't see that you're cut from a different cloth. But imagine the man that's rejected you and not helped you, not because he can't, because he don't want to, because he don't believe in you, because he thinks that you're the same as everyone else. Imagine years later, that same brother is phoning you up and asking you for knowledge and advice on certain things that are related to what you asked him for. Spoke about that before. I'm going to get into it, but let me get into this first. You might not always be someone's first choice. I made a video about this before. I get it. Sometimes some people can't see it in the beginning, but then, you know, their mindset will be changed after. I've made mistakes like that before, but it's never affected anyone directly. Like even this job that I'm at now, I'm an electrical tester, working in Northampton. Started the job, and bam! After the first day, I quit, you know. It weren't what I thought it was going to be. I didn't give it a chance. Man, quit the job. Turns out this is one of the best jobs I've ever had. So man quit the job, and then the manager phoned me up and said, listen man, look, can you reconsider? Boom, boom, boom. And I said, you know what, all right, fine. I was done with the job after one day, you know. What a big mistake I made. Turns out to be one of the best jobs man's ever had. So comfortable, so cushy. I got appointments and that. They're flexible, the tenants. Whilst in between appointments and that, I'm all going to my flat and renovating the flat and that. Imagine, I turned it down after the second day, you know. Even my gal. Get me? Obviously, man and gal are on dating apps and that, and man and gal are talking to multiple different people and that. And I got matched with my gal, chatting to her, and she asked me how tall I was. I told her 5'9". And she's like, oh, you should have told me that before, innit? So she probably thought, she was under the illusion that she could have done better. Couple years later, I owned this girl's soul. See, I wasn't her first choice. Like, you get me? She thought she could do better in it. She was under the illusion that she could do better in it. Oh, how she was wrong. Man didn't make the mistake as well, innit? I'm sure there's a lot of men out here probably rejected girls in the past and that, and they turned out to be one of the best women that they could ever dream to have. Even like one of my exes, she used to know some guy that was chasing her. You know the man then that's just pursuing it, trying to ask her out and that. She's telling him no, she's not interested. In between that time, she's dating other man and that. Imagine years later, this girl wants to jump off a bridge because this guy left her for another woman and married another woman, you know. He wasn't her first choice. AMS, my favorite YouTuber. The first video that I saw of AMS was one of his original, like, first videos. You'll see, my man's got like 900 videos, but it was within the first 50, maybe within the first 20. It's called Why I'm Against the MGTOW movement. You know MGTOW, innit? The man that complain about gal and that. My man, I think he was drunk or something in the video, just talking mad, swearing and camera right up to his face. And I thought, right, this guy a madman, bro. Let me get this guy off of my screen now. I rejected my man's videos and that. I knew him as the madman. Man used to watch like little red pill content back then as well, like a 017, 018 and that. And I used to see his face pop up on my feed. I used to get him off my feed. I thought, that guy there is the madman. I used to remember him as the madman. I didn't even know what his name was. I just remember his face, the madman. But about 8 months later, my favorite YouTuber watched every Ras Clark video. There ain't a video I ain't watched. Man's all on his Patreon and that. Even on the road. There's one youth, he's not around no more. He wanted to join one of them Tottenham gangs and that, and they told him no. They probably didn't rate him. How they made a Ross Clark mistake. My man said, okay, cool, Tottenham's rejecting me. Okay, cool. Man, I'm gonna go to Wood Green and that. Started banging for Wood Green. Started mashing up. Bare man in Tottenham. His name's Lamps. Mashed up bare youths in Tottenham. Had most of it and shook. So anyway, what inspired me to make this quick video, big up my man, Sleaze, you know who you are, asking me about apprenticeships and that, giving him a little bit of advice on, get me, how to get an apprenticeship. And I'm telling him, man, yeah, show a man that you're keen. You know someone that's offering apprenticeships and that, and said he's saying that he will give it to you once you start college and that. I'm saying to a man, even before you start college and he's giving you the official apprenticeships, offer to do some work for free. Show a man that you're keen. You understand what I'm saying? Show a man, prove to a man, because we have to prove ourselves out here sometimes, a lot of the time. Show and prove to a man that you're willing to work. You're willing to be a hard worker and that. It goes a long way. Then I told him about this story. It's funny how the world works. I'm all 16, 17 years old. And I wanted to find an apprenticeship. I got a family member. He's an electrician. He's a foreman. He's a manager. Previously, he took on his nephew as an electrical apprentice. But his nephew flunked it. Probably didn't turn up to college and that, didn't finish the apprenticeships. Whatever happened, his nephew right now is not an electrician. So he must have lost faith in his nephew. What's that got to do with me? So years later, you know, I've asked this particular family member who's a foreman, who's a manager, someone that could possibly grant me an apprenticeship. I asked him for an apprenticeship. He probably thought I was the same as his nephew. So you know what? He didn't directly say no. He said to me, oh, you know, we're not offering or looking for no apprenticeships at this time. I think it's nonsense. Even so, let's say, for example, he didn't, or the company wasn't looking for apprenticeships or apprentices at that time. A man didn't even refer me to, oh, okay, we'll try this. And just, nah, sorry, I can't help you. But it's funny though. It's funny because years later, when he is still an electrician and I've graduated and became an electrical tester, which is one step above electrician, Tony's phoning me up asking me for advice on how to sit the electrical testing course. Ain't that funny? Ain't that ironic? Can't you see the irony in that, blood? I wasn't good enough at that time, but then years later, you're asking me for advice. A certain man have amnesia. And I didn't even really clock the situation at the time or whatever. Innit? Like, it's only years later, man's thinking like, raw. Yeah, because I remember I made a video about the apprentice becomes the master. And I remember I was saying in that video, I was an apprentice at one time. And I basically qualified as an electrician. And immediately I wanted to become an electrical tester. And my mentor at the time, he didn't like it. We actually fell out over it because I was more interested in reading books rather than socializing at work. So this is the difference between me and the next man. Man don't go to work to socialize and be friends. Man go to work to earn money. And if in that time, if I'm not doing nothing because I'm riding around in a man's van as a passenger, I'm going to sit and read a book. Man are telling me, you don't need to become an inspection and testing engineer and that. Do you know why a man's saying that? A man's saying that because he sees himself working at Haringey Council for the rest of his life. His dad has been there for 25 years. His uncle's been there for 15. So that's all a man can see. A man just thinks to himself, yeah. And this is the problem with working for the councils and them kind of places and that. It literally is a job for life. Once you get your foot in the door, it's a job for life. The council is not going nowhere unless they get rid of all their contractors and they employ subcontractors. But as long as it's in-house, you're not going nowhere. Obviously, there's some people going to get made redundant. You understand what I'm trying to say? But more than likely, it's a job for life. You're not going nowhere. So a man sees the electrical testing thing as a waste of time. I don't need that qualification for here, so why am I going to do it? But me, I see further than just working for Holmes and Harringay. Man, see further than just working for anyone in general. My man's telling me, man, forget the course and that, man. You don't need to like. Anyway, me and him end up falling out over it, and that's basically the video I made talking about the apprentice becomes the master. What I'm saying that like, my man was getting vexed with me because my knowledge is surpassing his. But it's funny though, like, yeah, I asked a man in the past, for an apprenticeship and that, and a man it's not rating, man, can't see that man's cut from a different cloth and that. But then years later, a man is asking me for advice. Funny. Anyway, stay away, done.